Both you and Stephanie Terry cite quality of life as a priority. Under that heading, your website says, and I quote, "One of the key issues facing our city is the underutilization and underdevelopment of our green spaces, such as Roberts Park," end of quote. Until recently, Democrats on the Evansville City Council held back the Roberts Park development that's been on the drawing board for a decade because they said the city's Republican administration had failed to keep up the existing parks. What does the long-stalled Roberts Park say about all the demands competing for city tax dollars?
Sure. At the end of the day, we have a limited budget, and as does most individuals, right? You've got so much money and so many resources that you need to allocate that to. Our Parks Department, we have about 67 parks here locally, and some of those that are qualified as parks aren't necessarily what you would consider a park, but they are areas that the city needs to maintain. So 67 parks and 6 pools. We also have a zoo that their budget is under that Parks and Recreation budget. That budget's about $11.5 million per year. Half of that budget goes to the zoo, so it leaves you with less than $6 million to maintain 67 parks and 6 pools. So whenever you're really looking at it, the resources are quite small. So doing it on the parks budget alone, it won't happen. So we have to start being very realistic and very intentional about how we're going to move forward with that green space there at Roberts Park. I believe having private investors, having nonprofits, and having our community come together to help not only in the visioning of what can happen there, but also in the resource allocation will be imperative to start to be able to use that space.